My tablet started popping.
There's not enough Kleenex to clean up the pus.
What? Sorry?
From the popping.
Oh,
He said it was popping, so
Yes.
we clean up the pus
Popping.
that has gathered.
digital zits.
Oh, that sounds erotic. And speaking of erotic, welcome everyone to Big Damn Cast.
To this.
Year 3.
Yes.
We're in year 3.
So what have we got to come? We've got
The cancellation of the podcast in about half of a year's time. The one where we both get high.
We're going to get picked up by Netflix to finish it off.
Yeah. And then we'll do the movie, which will be straight to DVD because by that point the investors will have dropped out.
Yeah.
And then we will get back together in 10 years' time, but we'll do the same stuff, but we'll wear jackets and we won't dance as much. That's how it works, right?
That's exactly how it works.
That's exactly how it works. Welcome. I'm Christopher Build-A-Figure Johnson.
And I am just in it for the money.
There's money.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you where it is.
Darren, we've got a plethora of some stuff to talk
We've
about
got
this
some
week.
bits and pieces to talk about. I had actually completely forgot to ask you before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Have you watched any Luke Cage yet?
I've not. I mean, I've still not watched Jessica Jones C2, so I need to catch up. Yeah. However, I've finished my other things I was binging nearly. The Tick I can quite easily dip out of and go back to. But I've recently finished Comedy Bang Bang up to Series 3. And as of yesterday, The Toys That Made Us.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The Hello Kitty episode was actually a really good
Yeah,
finale.
because I know jack about Hello Kitty.
But
so
now
that
you
was
know.
pretty interesting to know.
Kawaii!
Kawaii!
So, I'm ready to binge, so I'll probably...
The Lego one was fascinating, wasn't it?
The Lego one was amazing. I think the best out of all of them, weirdly though, was the Star Trek one, just because of how odd it was that the story wasn't of triumph.
No.
It was, hi, here's a brand, and no one ever got it right when it came to merchandise.
Some people got close.
But... And then the 90s was a boom, because everyone was nerds, and also nerds with disposable income.
I remember the Next Generation type, not the first one. The second one, was it Playmates who took over?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
That was Mouthful of Water, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one. That was pretty neat.
That was cool. That was cool. Yeah, it was a good series, man. The Transformers one was weirdly touching as well. Yeah, no, I dug it, and I would like to see them do more, but it's more a case of like I'm not sure where you go with it. Maybe do individual ones, like pick a topic and make another episode.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
TMNT would be pretty. Yeah. Did you see the new theme? The new opening, Real Ghostbusters. Combine them, do an 80s special.
No, they would garner one each, I reckon.
You love to garner one each.
Oh,
That's not even a euphemism.
Just go on to Toy Galaxy, because Toy Galaxy does that stuff on YouTube.
Did you see the new theme opening for Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that came out this week?
No.
The animation style is gorgeous.
I've seen a couple of...
The song is incoherent and obnoxious. And it's like, oh, it's a shame.
I've seen some bits of animation for the new series. It looks fine.
Raph's the leader. There's a massive emphasis on tech, and Leo is clumsy.
Good.
Not sure how I feel about Leo being clumsy.
Good.
Not sure how I feel about Raph being the leader, but there's a story to tell there, so fair enough. But there's a massive emphasis on tech.
I mean, it's something different, isn't it?
Yeah, but ninjas, mate.
Ninjas.
Like ninjas. And you sort of taking away what makes Donnie special if everybody's using tech.
Yeah, but tech ninjas. What if Donnie makes the tech?
Donnie does make the check.
That's fine then.
Donnie does cash the checks. Because as you can tell from the lyrics to the new theme tune, when you listen really carefully amongst all of the overly edited sounds around it, once again the theme music is them just listing what each of the turtles does. And Donnie like something like Donnie's sick with machines. It's just like, oh god,
he is sick with machines.
Oh,
the machines have made him sick.
And what's really upsetting is I was looking for, like, visually it looks stunning, and there's a mix of CGI and vehicles and stuff in the thing, but like the turtle van breaks down into 2 cycles, and I'm just like, why? It's a van.
Toys.
Yeah, no, but they won't make the toys like that. They won't make them that like sort of flashy. They'll never do that. They'll make them really basic. because that's how it always works with these toys. Look at the previous one, which was great. We're going on a Turtles tangent here. My favourite Turtles cartoon is the Nick one, the previous one.
That was
CGI
pretty good.
One. So good.
Certainly the best written Turtles.
Absolutely, and probably the best cast, actually, in terms of like the characters and the guest stars and everything. And made by people who love film and television, who just happen to be making a show using the characters that they love as well. So like Series 3, they're in hiding. Series 3 opens with like 3 or 4 episodes that are basically their take on horror movies. Like Cabin in the Woods kind of things. It's
they got the guy...
mental. And then Series 4 in space with Tennant as a recurring character, David Tennant.
They got the guy who played Lo Pan in Big Trouble in Little China to come and play...
in Series 1 to basically play the same character,
Suspiciously similar substitute.
The dream beavers, the nightmare creatures that are basically beavers. 2 of them are voiced by Robert Englund. Like, they knew what they were doing. It's great.
It's very good. It's very good.
I have hope for the series because Rob Paulson is still attached, but he's not playing anyone this time. He was Raph in the original, Donnie in the previous one.
Directing?
He's voice directing. He's taken over from Andrea Romano.
Good.
As voice director of... because she's retired now, which is really annoying because she's great. Although she has said she'd come out of retirement for certain things. It's like, well, someone hurry up and commission those certain things right now because she's the best voice director in the business.
Yes, boss.
But at the same time, about 70 jobs have just opened in LA, so good luck to all the people who now fill those jobs.
Yeah.
But it's all of the theme songs have used how's the original one go? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or if you're in the UK, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because ninja means violence apparently.
Nunchucks.
And then the 2003 one was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was like, okay, so they use it, but only at the top and tail. The 2012 one was freaking great. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was like the hook of the chorus. But this one does the exact same thing. It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rise. It's like, oh, for God's sake, that's so weird. But
that's not good.
It's weird that we're 4 full animated series in for the Turtles, and no one's tried to change the theme song in any way.
Because it's iconic.
Yeah, but it's also terrible if you warp it so much, but try and keep it the same thing. It's like doing a cover of Queen. It can't be done. Well, it can, but live. Never do it in studio. Although Panic did an okay version of Rhapsody for the Suicide Squad
Metallica
soundtrack.
did a great version of Stone Cold Crazy.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
They played that live when I saw them.
I saw the Foos last week and they did Under Pressure. That was pretty good. Yeah. And Korn always, if Korn do Coming Undone, they always slip into We Will Rock You in the middle of it, which is great.
I don't remember if they did that when I saw them.
That was a good gig, actually. I saw Korn when one of them was ill. And it just was like, fuck it, we're going to carry on. And to sort of compensate, they apologised. So they played like an extra half hour than they were meant to.
It
was like, fair enough.
I saw them at Download year before last.
Coming Undone.
It sweat through.
Coming Undone's probably not one that they whip out often, because it was like a single from Untitled from 2006 or whatever. So they're probably not whipping that one out quite often. But if they do, they slip some Queen in there. Giggity.
Hey, but I got the Life and Blind, so that's alright.
Oh, bless. I fucking love it. I love Korn. Korn are amazing. Anyway, enough of me being a sad little grandkid.
Christopher.
Yes? Sweetheart?
We need to talk about it.
About it?
No.
I
mean, we're going to, but not yet.
But
we need to talk about it.
Little prick tease there. Little prick tease.
Not big eye.
Little click tease.
Not big eye it. Little eye it.
Oh?
Referring to something else. We need to talk about that show.
What show?
That one.
Oh, what? The one that we only ever talk about reluctantly on this here podcast, and yet frequently.
Yeah. It's reluctant, but frequent.
Alright then. Here we go.
We need to talk about Doctor Who.
Oh.
What did you think I was talking about?
I thought you wanted to talk about the Monsters reboot.
The unmade Addams Family show.
Oh yeah, jeez, yeah. Well, there you go. Made by Saban. Made by Saban,
who also made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation with Venus de Milo.
Because someone had to claim responsibility for that.
Fucking awful.
Yeah, it's funny you should mention this because over on Twitter today before the recording, John Gransden did indeed tweet us to say, "I invoke the 2 lifelong Doctor Who fans reluctantly talk about Doctor Who card in regards to our news composer Segun Akinola."
Yeah.
Which we'll definitely talk about.
Yeah.
And possibly that other thing that happened on Monday night, if you're comfortable discussing it.
I'm very comfortable discussing it.
I am going to discuss it. I don't know how I feel about it. But not the content, more
the way
we got it. Yeah. It's
Right, so
for those who don't know.
That was brilliant. That was in stereo.
It was pretty beautiful.
Left channel, right channel. For those who don't know, on Monday night, some footage leaked, presumably from Jodie Whittaker's first episode.
Based on what she's wearing, I'd assume.
And the dialogue and what's happening in the scene. And also a couple of images of the new sonic screwdriver.
Sonic screwdriver.
So, I don't know what the circumstances behind the leak are.
But someone's in trouble.
It would not surprise me if the BBC just sort of let it slip out.
I don't think...
Like they were clenching. And it was a little bit...
I don't think they did. No, I'll tell you for what. This has been done before by different companies, for sure. But I'm not sure in this occasion because San Diego Comic-Con is a confirmed reveal of some footage. Probably a new series trailer. Probably a scene. And
which some people have been a bit upset about,
as they get every year. Yeah. They get upset about it every year. But here's the thing: the trailer will definitely, if it's shown at that thing, it will definitely go online. The moment that panel has happened. The clips will be exclusive for that room. I think that's fine. I think that's completely fine because it's a treat for the people who've queued up to be in Hall H for that occasion.
How long have we got to wait till? What's
September, October, I think it is.
It's later this year, isn't it?
Yeah, autumn. I imagine September.
Autumn this year.
Because I don't believe they have a Christmas special greenlit or confirmed. But if they do and they want the wiggle room for it, it's going to have to start in September to finish in time.
So they can get some response. Yeah.
I don't think this was purposely leaked. I think this is a case of somebody probably sharing it with someone else, saying, "Don't show this to anyone. Here it is," and then that person's just totally fucking uploaded it like an idiot. Because there is a lot of that. Here's the thing. Unless you're working for Marvel or Star Wars, where everything is that watertight that, like, you're making Infinity War, if you want to read the full script, you have to make an appointment during the filming, even if you're one of the lead characters. And you get taken to a room where basically you are there for 4 hours, and you're given a special iPad, and it's on there. And do you know what I mean? Like they do secrecy like nobody's business. They do false leaks nowadays because of people like Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo being a bit sort of careless with stuff.
Does that mean you believe the new Spider-Man 2 title or not?
Oh, absolutely. I believe that Spider-Man Far From Home is the title, and that they're going to continue that theme of home in the titles, because why not?
Okay.
I believe that completely, mostly just because the way it was done, Tom Holland did it so sort of naturally, where he holds the iPad up for just a moment and then lowers it, and it's like, they've let you show that off. Yeah. So... like that's intentional. I think with Doctor Who what happens is because it's not as tight knit and stuff, people do share stuff, and they really shouldn't, but they do.
You're naughty people.
Well, it happens, especially when you work within these jobs and stuff. Like I've known people, for example, through Doctor. Right, so here's a story I can tell because it's been and gone, and it's from the previous regime. And I think I might have talked about this before briefly, but I was at Rowthlock in Wales filming a behind-the-scenes film for CBBC for Wizards vs Aliens Series 3.
Yeah.
And it might have been Series 2. Series 2 or Series 3. But while I'm there, I'm told Doctor Who are filming next door. I'm like, oh, right, okay. Like, so they're in today, because the last time I'd been there, Doctor Who wasn't in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, cool. And I'm outside... and I shan't say the actor's name in case he gets in trouble for being this flippant. But it was one of the actors from Cold War.
Yeah.
And he's outside, and he's having a cigarette, and a few of them are on break, and I come outside because I want to breathe because the crew are getting some behind-the-scenes shots of a scene being shot, so I duck out the way just so I'm not, like, a nuisance or in the way, and it's quite hot in the studio. Oh, we just start chatting. He's like, "Oh, you're doing it's Wizards vs Aliens next door or something, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You in that one?" I was like, "Oh, I'm doing behind the scenes." So you've seen? He was like, "Oh yeah, I thought I recognised you. I think my kids have seen you on thingy." I go, "Yeah, okay." Oh, what are you working at? "Oh, doing Doctor Who next door." I was like, "Oh, brilliant." And from his clothes, I could tell that he was playing like military, maybe navy, and stuff. And I say, "So you is it like a unit, like a military thing?" And he's like, "Oh no, we're on a submarine." We're on a submarine and we're being attacked by an ice warrior. And this is before this episode was even publicly known about. And I'm like, okay. It's like, yeah, it's some good stuff. They're filming some stuff with it now, and it's pretty impressive that it's sort of. Did you know about them? And I was like, I know about the Ice Warriors. And he was like, oh, good, okay. So it sort of comes out of its armor. I was like, oh, really? Because of course, like that was not known.
Yeah.
I was like, right. And he's just talking about it because he's talking about the puppetry effects and all this stuff. I'm like, that's really cool. Blah, blah, blah. And then they go back in to film stuff. We go back in, we film this, that, and the other. And then I'm in the car on the way home at the end of the day. And in my head, I'm thinking, I know that next series there's an episode with an ice warrior set on a submarine. And that ice warrior at some point will take its armour off. What the hell? I didn't tell anyone because I was like, if I tell someone, I could get in trouble. But obviously he shouldn't have said anything. But it's that confidentiality thing of, you're in the building, you're probably going to see stuff. Oh, I'll let you know. But he obviously told me way too much. And it's like, okay, but that's just how it is.
But you kept that secret.
I did keep the secret. Yeah. And that's the thing. People know that those working on the production aren't going to spread it. But at the same time, if one of those actors comes home at the end of the day working on a big important thing, even the likes of Star Wars, and their partner or whatever says like, so what'd you do today? He's like, oh frick, we filmed with Darth Vader. Like, they're gonna, do you know what I mean? Like, that happens.
You would do that.
So
I would do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if in this instance someone shared the scene with someone else and just went, oh, look at her. Yeah. Here's a little clip. Look at her. She's great. And then that person's been an idiot and shared it with a friend or uploaded it to YouTube unlisted or something so they can watch it later. And it's just like,
why would you do that?
Oh God.
There are easier ways to watch it later.
That's why I don't think this is an intentional leak. Also because it's not like a complete mix. Like I think they'd be a little flashier if they wanted something to dribble out. So that's kind of why I'm a bit like, a bit annoyed about it, because I would like to have seen just a bit more context, and I would like to have heard the music more, because the music is there, but it's very low in the mix, and it might just be a placeholder. Yeah,
because although Satan got announced yesterday. Yesterday?
Yes. Yesterday, yeah. As of the recording of this, Tuesday of this week.
It's not clear if he's been working on it already. Although I would assume he must probably
definitely been in the running.
It's coming out.
It's like when they announce voice actors and they say, such body's joined the cast of this show.
Yeah,
it's
they've
like,
actually already done it.
They did it like 9 months ago. Yeah. You're just announcing it now on the cusp of it coming out.
Yeah.
It's. But again, like, let's briefly, because in case people don't really want spoilers, we won't go into details, but let's sort of vaguely talk about the clip. She's very tenanty, isn't she?
She's very tenanty.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. Not in a copycat, just like you are pleasantly balmy. It's also post-regeneration.
Yeah, it's one of those high energy, slightly confused, slightly manic post-generation, don't quite know what's going on scenes. And it's Doctor Who. It's Doctor Who. What more do you want? Yeah. What do you expect?
She's in Capaldi's clothes. There's a suggestion that she's not stopped to look at herself for a moment.
No.
And it's a little bit balmy, and it's a Yorkshire accent. It sounds like she softened it slightly.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm a bit like, oh no, you should have got Elfa leather, but whatevs. It's interesting. And the sonic screwdriver got out. Cool design. Maybe a little too techy. I kind of like just the simplicity of a silver cylinder with a thing on the end. But I get it.
When was the last actually simple sonic screwdriver we got?
I mean, Eccleston Tenants was like the most exciting thing it did was it extended a bit.
Yeah, but it still looked quite
toyetic.
Yeah, toyetic.
But true. Real words invented by fucking marketing companies.
Fucking Smiths was all bells and whistles and thingy-mabobs opening and this bit and that bit and
yes,
like, we haven't had We haven't had a simple, straightforward sonic screwdriver design since the TV movie.
Yeah, that's fair enough. This one at least just looks like it glows, and that's the extent of what it does physically. So that's fine.
I can go for a glowing sonic screwdriver. That's kind of what it needs to do.
And goggles can make anyone look funny.
Oh, goggles! I hope she keeps them goggles on.
Just every episode was like, what are you doing?
But if this is part of the costume that they've not revealed yet, it's just she's wearing those goggles up.
Like in every episode.
Like a mad scientist.
God.
That'd be so cool!
That would be pretty sweet.
Or if she just, every time, if she needs to inspect something, she just pulls the goggles out of the long coat. He just slaps them on. Right! Because it'd be a great, like, fun image of...
You just did a Tex Avery, like, doing eyeballs motion then. Just like illustrated it perfectly.
Put it on, snap on the elastic on the back and be like, let's have a look. It'd be such a great, like, mad scientist image.
Why are you wearing goggles? We're in pitch black. It's like, you got a torch.
You know, when the fucking first Doctor pulls his monocle out or whatever.
Oh,
or Tennant's glasses.
Well, yeah, Fifth Doctor, there's just this tiny little half moon spectacles.
Or Whittaker just has these massive goggles. That'd be such a great image.
I wanted to go even further. I wanted to be like the freaking ones that Mole, whatever his name is, wears in Atlantis: The Lost Empire. It's just this big series of lenses.
Everyone tick off on your bingo card the Atlantis: The Lost Empire reference for this episode.
I think that's the third time it's been mentioned in the history of the show.
No,
one per year, no more till next June. Let's talk about the composer. Have you had a little listen to his work on SoundCloud?
Yeah, mostly his stuff from Expedition Volcano. Sounds pretty interesting, nicely orchestrated,
but cerebral.
Yes.
Which is nice.
It's just be nice to have some new music, because as we've been talking about before the podcast, Paul Murray Gold has been... They've wrung everything out of him. Because when was the last time there was an actual new theme in that show?
Very true. Well, it seems like Murray Gold was the composer for Doctor Who 2005 to 2000... What year are we in? To 2017. But it was very obvious throughout a lot of Capaldi's era that he hadn't been commissioned to write new pieces for the show.
Yeah, because they were just recycling old stuff.
Like Smith's last series onwards. So occasionally there'd be new themes, but... And there must have been enough new stuff for the series 8 and 9 soundtracks that have been like posthumously released to validate being their own soundtracks instead of a combo. But it's... Yeah, I mean, if you took a drink every time you heard "I Am the Doctor" being reused throughout Capaldi's era, even though it's a Smith theme, you'd be dead by Into the Dalek.
It's a good drinking game. I'm gonna use that when I get to the new series on my
your big old marathon
on my Plex as I'm making my Plex server.
Your Plex server is beautiful.
I'm watching Marco Polo at the moment. I'm actually holding a loose cannon recon of Marco Polo.
All 7 eps?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Very boring.
Oh.
It's just like it's not a bad story. It's just it's long.
Yeah, that is a big curse.
And there's no motion because it's all like.
When you think about how unwell Hartnell got and how busy the actors felt, and like Caroline Ford left because she felt like she was trapped in a job for over a year and everything.
Because they used to crank that shit out.
Oh, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't have holidays really. They had to find them in little gaps. That's why Hartnell disappears for 2 episodes of the Keys of Marinus, because he just had a week and a half off.
40 episodes in that first season.
Yeah, and that's... Well, look, Lou and I have been box setting it recently, and you do get the sense of some stories that, this could have easily been a couple of episodes shorter, and you could have given everybody a few weeks of holiday.
But it was also an economic thing, I imagine, because you had to reuse the sets. And that being said...
Some of the sets are grand. And on the short ones, the set at the end of The Rescue... do you remember The Rescue, the first movie?
I've not seen it for so long.
So it's Kikillian and
I remember Kikillian.
Vicky and Bennett are on that crash ship and he's injured.
Kikillian, who looks like a man in a suit because he is a man in a suit.
Turns out he's a man in a suit, yeah. But it's a great suit. It's a great suit, but it's obviously a suit.
Yeah, it's really good.
But and then the creature, I can't remember what she nicknamed it, but that creature that it looks ominous and creepy.
Yeah.
And then they show you the wide shot of it, and it's clearly a dude in like a sleeping bag costume on his arms.
Shoots it.
Yeah, just
go and put it. She's like
murked by Barbara.
That. Boom,
murked by Barbara. It's freaking great.
Barbara's very good.
But the Doctor in that follows the trail in Bennett's quarters down to basically the hidden like temple of what the society used to use for like their meetings and their rituals.
Yeah.
And it's this big, grand, gorgeous set. Like, they've obviously used the whole studio to make this thing. It's beautiful. It's in 1 3-minute scene in a 2-part story. And it's like, wow. And yet, let's spend... fucking...
Yeah.
And yet, let's spend... How many fucking episodes of Censor Rights? Let's spend 6 episodes walking around a ship for 2... And then just a bunch of whitish rooms.
I'm not looking forward to Censor Rights, because I've not seen it.
No! After episode 1. Episode 1 is great.
I've heard I've got some real fucking chugs to come. Like, I've got Censor Rights, I've got... Apparently Space Museum is pretty fucking turgid as well.
Again, one where it's a great idea and it just takes too long.
Yeah.
I feel like that with The Chase until it starts to get schizophrenic.
Yeah, I've heard mixed
That's
things
when I
about
enjoy
the
it, when it's
chase.
just like, oh, we're here now. Now we're here. Now we're here. Wait, Dracula?
Yeah.
The chase is madcap, but it does take a while. Lou thought Dalek Invasion was boring this week.
It's probably a bit too
Until the
long.
last episode, and then she really dug it.
I
But
think
the early Dalek stories don't have the luxury that later Dalek stories do, which is they hadn't realised at that point that giving scenes to just Daleks, having dialogue between one another, is the worst thing you can do.
It's not a good idea.
Because it's so boring.
Only do it when you absolutely have. But Terry Nation also don't think he's as good a writer as people give him credit
Terry
for.
Nation wrote the same story 18 times.
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty much it.
I think Terry Nation's only like. I think he's only fondly remembered because he created the Daleks. I don't think he's a particularly good writer. Prolific.
Absolutely.
Prolific.
And influential in terms of what he left behind.
But I don't think he was particularly good.
Like J.K. Rowling. I don't like J.K. Rowling's prose.
I like her stories.
I love her
prose.
stories. I don't like her prose. Yeah. I find myself disengaged. I found myself, even as a teen, disengaging from the books and had to resort to the audiobooks because Stephen Fry made me really listen along. Yeah. And in America, like, the audiobooks sold in America, it was Jim Dale was the reader for the audiobooks. What a weird thought. It's like, oh, we can't have the British ones. Let's hire a British guy to read them. It's like, hang on.
What?
Carry on, Potter. Anyway, so Jim Dale was a member of the Carry On cast, for the listeners too young to understand that reference.
Yes.
It was,
it.
if you want to see him featured, he's the lead in Carry On Cowboy. He's one of the leads in Carry On Screaming.
William Hart was in a Carry On film, wasn't he?
He was. John Pertwee's in Carry On Screaming.
Yes. He's the man yes. Yes, it's very good.
I think Hart was in one of the early military ones.
Carry On Sergeant?
Sergeant, I think. Yeah,
Because he did a lot of military stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
Military and tough guy bits and bobs.
Have we just reluctantly talked about Doctor Who with a level of enthusiasm?
Hey, I didn't say I wasn't enthusiastic about it. I'm just reluctant to talk about it. Once I start talking about it, I can talk about it for a long time.
Well,
but let's talk about something else.
Yeah, let's talk about another.
Oh yeah, so
let's talk about another thing that. Oh God! So, Doctor Who snippet this week released in a state that is not final, but like people get a sense. However, there are people who are rallying against Series 11 Doctor Who already, either because they're like, Doctor shouldn't be a woman. For
Ian Levine.
Oh God, Ian Levine's reaction is hilarious.
Such a dick.
He's just for Christ's sake.
No one cares, Ian. Get back in your hole.
Ian, thank you for finding some episodes. That is genuinely brilliant, and we're very grateful for the fact you did. Apart from that, fuck off.
On a brief side note, I did come across a rumour that there's a couple of episodes in the hands of private collectors in Cyprus.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Which apparently they're working on getting them returned.
I wouldn't be surprised. So that means that they're either holding them ransom for large sums of money, or it's like someone old as balls who they're just having trouble trying to get in touch with.
Why not both?
Send an operative out there.
Send Ian Levine.
Send Ian Levine. Oh God! But then don't
just buy him a one-way ticket.
Don't get me a return ticket, but make sure he's nowhere near Paphos because I would like to holiday there again. I don't want to bump into Ian Levine in the Rose pub. Anyway.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh God! But so Ian Levine's railed against it, and some people have obviously just immediately gone like, "Oh, I don't care." There's something. There've been some really horrible, subtly racist backlashes to the announcing of the new composer. People going, "Oh, the BBC being progressive and PC are they?" It's like, what, by hiring a brilliant composer?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Why would you say that?
Can I ask you why you would say that? No, you don't want to elaborate. Oh, I wonder why. Okay. You fucking racist. Yeah. But Doctor Who fans, it turns out there is a very poisonous, loud sect of them.
Yeah, the same people who bought Doctor in Distress. Yeah. Ian Levine bought all 12 copies.
And as the weeks go by, we are learning more and more about different fandoms that are full of poisonous, sort of like unnecessarily nasty or horrible. And recently, Star Wars came under the spotlight for this because there were so many fans bullying Kelly Marie Tran, the actress who played Rose Tico in The Last Jedi, because they didn't like The Last Jedi and they didn't like Rose, and they decided it was her fault, and they bullied her and harassed her and insulted her, and she sort of quietly left her social medias And then people noticed, and it was like, oh my god, has she been bullied away? People like John Boyega have sort of fought back against trolls. Mark Hamill's been doing it quite a lot. Rian Johnson's been doing it quite a bit. And here's the thing. I don't like The Last Jedi. Go back and listen to our Last Jedi episode. Matt absolutely adored it. I really didn't like it at all. However, I would not blame my unenjoyment of it on one actor. I would not blame it on Rian Johnson necessarily. Like, I've got problems with what he did, but I wouldn't say, you ruined the movie. I'd just be like, oh, it wasn't for me. Like, I didn't enjoy the film, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
There are people who are so adamant that the movie is wrong and terrible and bad and has ruined their childhood and has ruined Star Wars. You know, that feeling that they're clinging on to from when they were kids watching the originals, so it's not something that can be ruined, it's just... that they've decided to remake The Last Jedi.
Well, someone has started a crowdfunding campaign to get $200 million. The projected budget. $2 billion. $200 million. The projected budget of a Last Jedi remake.
Yeah, because, you know...
because Disney are going to let them do that. If they go to Disney with $200 million and say, yo, here's all the money, let us remake The Last Jedi, Disney are just going to go, yeah, sure! So why not?
Is that their plan? To go to Disney and go, look, we've got the money.
They're going to have to.
You have to make it now. That's their plan. It's not their plan to just remake it themselves.
They can't just remake it themselves.
Unless they did it as a fan project.
Well, no, because they want
Because if they do it as a fan project, then they can put it up online for free.
No, but they want to bring Mark Hamill back.
Oh my! Right, do you know
they
what?
They don't want to do their version of The Last Jedi. They want to go to Disney and say, "Here's what you should have done. Do it this way." Oh, for fuck's sake!
Do you know what? Inevitably, what's going to happen is they're going to get in touch with Disney, and Disney are going to go as politely as they can. No, go away, and then they're going to have to return all the crowdfunding money because the project isn't made, unless to make sure that they use that money, they just make their own fan film with it, and they change the title to fan film, and it be here's Star Wars going forward. For everybody who hated Last Jedi, here's the proper ones going forward, and they're going to be free because you made them, you funded them, and we're going to cast them. And I want Mark Hamill to accept a role in it, but I want him to refuse to play Luke Skywalker.
I want to just spend his entire role in it just flipping the bird.
Yeah, I want him to be like, I'll play.
Because one of the big things...
I'll be in it, and they'll be like, oh my god, we said yes, we're definitely putting him in it. Absolutely, Mark, anything. If you'll be in it, anything. What do you want to play? And I want him to be like, I want to play that thing that lactates, and I want you to suck my titty milk. And I want you to fucking enjoy it. You better smile when you wipe it out of your beard.
Papa needs this. I don't know how they're planning on remaking The Last Jedi without Carrie Fisher.
I think it was very true. Well, I think, unless, of course, again, they just turn it into here's the fan interpretation of The Last Jedi, here's what we would have wanted, and it's a fan-funded thing, and new actors are playing the roles, and la la la.
It ceases to be The Last Jedi then, doesn't it?
It does, and it's entirely pointless, and yet that'll make them satisfied. Because here's the thing, crowdfunding campaigns, you have to spend the money, you have to prove that you've spent the money, or that you made the attempt to do it correctly and that money has been spent on something legitimate. For example, to go back to our old friends' channel, Not So Awesome.
Oh yeah, those ones.
They, a few years back, took $90,000 in crowdfunding to create a game show, a video game-centric show, and a comic book-centric show. They released the pilot of the game show and it was terrible. I think it was clearly not... obviously, it wouldn't be 90 grand spent on the one episode, but the promise was 40 episodes of the game show, 20 episodes of the video game show, and 50 episodes of the comic book show from 90 grand, which is reasonable. Because it's in terms of getting guests in and flying them out and budgets for the set and for the building that they're renting. That is pretty reasonable and also quite small budget for that. However, the pilot for the game show was clearly cheap as balls and terrible, so they did it again, and then eventually they released 6 episodes based on the style of the second pilot. And it was the comic book show became a thing, Awesome Comics, which didn't require a weekly budget. It had the same people in it, and that eventually happened. The video game show never materialised, but it's believed the only reason they released 6-7 episodes of the game show, or made them and released them, was because Indiegogo or whoever it was began to investigate, because they were like, "Where's this? It's been 2 years. What's going on?"
Yeah.
So they released enough stuff to justify, as far as the crowdfunding campaign, crowdfunding site was concerned, you have been spending the money. And you have been producing something.
Yeah.
Now, a big part of that is the projects don't necessarily have to succeed.
No.
And you can make it when people fund that they can't get a refund if the project does not succeed. You can make that part of the contract. This is why you should always read the small print when you donate to a GoFundMe campaign.
Sometimes the products even make it to market and still don't succeed. Mighty number 9.
Yeah, oh Christ. Well, that's how it happens. I put money toward the Joker Blog Season 2 when they did a crowdfund for that. I put £30 English in towards it to help toward the series.
GBP.
And the plan was for it to fund Series 2, and as a thank you, anyone who donated over like 25 quid UK equivalent.
You should have done 2501.
Got the first series edited into one thing as a DVD, edited into a movie, so it's like a 3.5 hour film, so it's edited and rearranged a certain way. Series 1 on DVD and as a download. And 2 months after I donated, I got the Joker blogs on DVD. It's over there with all my DC animated stuff. And a download copy, which went on my iTunes, which I'm going to have to resource because my freaking computer went down. But like that went into my iTunes, and I had a copy of it on my iPod. I was like, that is great. That is worth it. That's brilliant. And that was a freebie, but when you look at it as the money exchange, it's like, oh, cool. I got a thing that probably would cost them about $15 to produce. $15, little man. They put that shit in my hand, and the money did show. And they didn't owe me.
You do owe me.
Well, no, because they gave me the thing. They gave me the perk. But, and again, they gave the perk out for free as a thank you for the donation because they don't own the Joker and the Nolanverse and everything. Yeah. But there you go. And Warner Brothers gave them a thumbs up that it was cool to do. The budget the stuff that they did make did go towards Series 2. Series 2 still hasn't finished. It's like 2 episodes from finishing. Last year they came back. Massive apologies for the delays because they all just have different lives. It was something they were doing in their spare time. In fact, some of them went to heaven. That was one of them just then. Ascending with a cat.
Wings. Shut up, tablet. Stop popping.
Diddling. Stop popping and locking. But they're still making it, and it'll eventually come out. But in the terms, it did say, and I remember reading, in the eventuality of the complete second series not being released, you can't ask for a refund. And it even said, a personal message was recommending. So if on the basis of that you would like to donate less, press cancel, and reset the amount you're going to donate. They made it clear that this is just going to. So there wasn't. You're taking a risk when you make that kind of investment because of course they could then just not make it, and they've taken all your money. But we knew they were going to make it because they put up a bunch of stuff showing they'd already written the second series and it was cast and this and the other, and it was like, okay, I'm going to put my faith in them, and I did. And we've had 8 amazing episodes of Series 2. Just we still have the final 2, but whatever. So this is how crowdfunding works. These guys, for example, the Last Jedi remake folk, if they got $200 million, they would have to either produce something to prove that the donations went somewhere legitimate, or give it all back.
Apparently, they're already at 150 million.
Oh God!
Who is donating to this shit, and why aren't they donating to something worthwhile? I don't know, some efforts to stop the separation of parents and children at the US-Mexico border, or something, fucking important like that. No, they're
or a remake of Attack of the Clones.
They're pouring money into the effort to remake. Disney don't give a shit if you like The Last Jedi or not. You know why? Because they got your fucking money. Everyone went to see that movie 3 times, whether they liked it or not.
Do you really think the Lucasfilm branch is going to stop working on Episode 9 to go, you're right, let's remake Episode 8?
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
No one cares.
It's not going to happen.
No one at Disney cares about you whinging because Luke Skywalker didn't do all the cool stuff that you wanted to do. That's a big part of this, by the way. Huge part of this is Luke Skywalker. It didn't do justice to the legacy of Luke Skywalker. Even Mark Hamill didn't like it. Mark Hamill has been quite public about saying that he didn't agree with the direction that Luke went in, but he still did the movie, and presumably he's still proud of it.
Yeah, because he knew the story that they wanted to tell, and he as an actor was like, right, I'm going to embody this story and do it.
It's not what he would have done, but it's what happened.
Yeah. Again, like me, I didn't like the story. I didn't like the direction they took him. Not because I wanted him to be a badass uber hero, but just because my problem came from the way that they told the whole fall of everything with Kylo and the visions of him being bad. I felt like it was underplayed and I didn't believe it. I didn't believe you would go that far. However, I wouldn't fucking remake the entire movie just to change that.
But a lot of it's
that's just how they told it. It didn't sit with me. That's fine.
And a lot of it's stuff like, oh, how is this? There was a tweet going out. This business doing the rounds today.
Oh god,
that fucking
encapsulates all of the bullshit.
Encapsulates so much of the bullshit, and it's I've got to try and find it. It's basically someone. People don't like Vice Admiral Holdo.
Oh my god! Right, so this is Laura Dern's character.
Really, yeah.
Again, I kind of get the criticism of the character motivation in the movie. That's where my criticism comes. Her character motivation's where I have a problem. I'm yeah, why keep it secret from Poe? I know it's for him to learn a lesson in the structure of this family movie where it's about things not being what you expect them to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, from an adult point of view, I'm like, maybe she should have given him a hint as to what her plan was. That's my criticism. These guys tend to be more like, well, she's purple-haired because it's a direct reference to Zoe Quinn because they're taking sides in Gamergate and it's an SJW.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so weird.
She's like, I think I can't find the exact tweet.
Well, hang on, is it right? I think I know which one you're talking about. Someone said, take one look at this woman.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of Admiral Holdo in her, her grey gown and her purple hair and everything. And you tell me if you believe she'd be the general of anything.
No.
Let alone a rebel fleet. Something like that.
The admiral of an army.
Admiral of an army.
Oh, here it is.
It's the one I've seen with the retweet.
Amazon Heroicon. I have a question about Star Wars The Last Jedi. Seriously, do you believe this purple-haired woman wearing prom dress can become an admiral of an army in any universe?
And then...
this is Movie Bob going...
Movie Bob, someone we absolutely love, has replied with...
One of the other admirals is a fish. It's just like... But it's criticisms like that. Like, I get that people don't buy some of the character motivations and things like that.
Yeah.
Valid criticism is not, this woman has purple hair and a dress. Why is she an admiral? Like, that's not...
Would these same people who make that as an attempt at legitimate criticism, would these same people say that Mon Mothma's ridiculous because she's walking around in like a pearl white gown?
Oh, well, she's a politician. She's not a... And also, she was in the Return of the Jedi, so of course it's all perfect. God. It's like, no, you're not gonna fucking remake The Last Jedi. You're not gonna be able to do it. I don't understand why you would give money to this endeavour that is clearly not gonna happen. And why if you cared about something that much, put that money towards something that, is actually going to change. Towards some injustice in this world. Because there's plenty of that shit that needs sorting out.
Again,
not remaking The Last Jedi, whether you liked it or not.
Again, I believe it was Movie Bob. He said, do you know what? If you guys are going to get $200 million together to make a movie, do it. Make an original movie. An original movie that ticks the boxes that you're enjoying. Don't make a Star Wars film. Make an original movie with this crowdfunding thing. Do it. Hire a proper studio to work with you. Pitch a proper thing to a studio and be like, we have the budget, you've just got to distribute it. Make a film.
Yeah.
You might create something new. It'll have come from a place of really sort of petty, squabbling. But it might be great. And people might enjoy it. Make something new. Don't fucking... Oh, it's so dumb. It's so... I mean, that's not even looking at that money could go toward better, more significant things, especially within America, because so much of this is American.
Yeah, and it's...
Oh, God.
It's really not the problem we need to be putting money towards right now.
Oh, God.
If you have the money to put towards something like this, towards, crowdfunding to solve a problem, this is not the one.
Do you know what we should never suggest to these people?
What?
To spend the money on buying as many copies of The Last Jedi as possible on DVD and then making it into the wall across the Mexican border. Because they'll probably get behind that. And then it's a free copy of The Last Jedi for anyone living near the border.
We'll show Disney, and then it gives Disney the ability to re-up their bid again when Comcast re-ups their bid again.
Yeah, oh God. I just want this to be over. I want Fox to go, did you know what? We're keeping our shit. And they just keep it.
No, because Murdoch wants to sell it off.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
It's Murdoch. He wants to get rid of it.
Is he near his deathbed yet?
He's never going to die. He's not all of us all. He's going to transform
I'm the
himself.
personification of pure evil on this planet, and I'm not going anywhere.
He's going to insert himself into progressively younger bodies, and I don't mean in a Me Too kind of way.
I mean in a like an angel talked with sex alien kind of way.
Man. There was another awful Me Too story came out again this week with a woman who started a Twitter account called I was 17, he was 36.
Yeah.
To remain anonymous so she could tell the story of how Maynard James Keenan from Tool and A Perfect Circle raped her when she was 17 at one of his gigs.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah.
How did it eventually get out? Did people piece things together, or...
No.
Did she just,
apparently,
I'm just going to say...
No, she came out and told this story anonymously with this new account that she'd made. And then
she, like, straight up discussed...
And then a bunch of people are like, yeah, that sounds like exactly the kind of thing that he would do based on things that we've heard. And all the people coming out, yes, I have also experienced this.
Fuck.
So, fuck that guy.
Damn it.
Anyway.
That's a bit heavy.
Let's talk about Predators.
Oh! That's more fun and light!
That was a terrible segue.
That's a terrible segue.
That was awful and tasteless.
No, do you know what? I think it was a good segue, but it was an after the watershed segue.
It was awful and tasteless and crass, and I apologise.
But speaking of awful, tasteless and crass...
There is a new Predator trailer.
The Predator... I kid. It looks good.
Red Band trailer. Looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
Boyd Holbrook's having a good time by the looks of it.
Well, we touched on it last week that a version of this had come out, because I'd seen a lot of these shots before, but I think it was Green Band, now the Red Band second full trailer for The Predator is
Blood,
out.
gore, motherfuckers.
Pussy jokes.
Yeah.
Are back in abundance. Keegan-Michael Key is inheriting Shane Black's pussy joke
Is that Keegan-Michael Key in the trailer?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Did you not know? Because when I first heard
when
I first heard that, I was like, why is a comedy man in this movie? That seems a bit odd. Man. But it's obviously because they're doing the Shane Black thing from the original Predator of one of these characters is going to be weirdly hilarious.
Yeah, because if you don't know, this is a movie written and directed by Shane Black.
Yeah.
Which you can definitely tell by the dialogue.
The guy whose pussy is as big as a house from the original. Not his pussy, his wife's pussy. I just said that word more than I've ever said it in 1 week.
Don't say that word ever again. It's a gross word.
Let's say pudding.
Pudding.
I'm
going to talk about his wife's pudding.
I'd say, geez, you got a big pudding. Geez, you got a big pudding. She said, why say it twice? And I said, I didn't. That's me zooming in and listening.
Yes.
So The Predator is because Keegan-Michael Key was sort of misquoted for a headline this week. One of the websites, whatever, was saying Keegan-Michael Key, The Predator is not a sequel. But when you read his comments, what he's saying is it's not a follow-on.
Yeah, it is a sequel.
It is a sequel.
It's clearly a sequel,
but it's not like directly following on from Predator 1 or Predator 2. But it definitely takes place in that universe because Jake Busey's in it playing the son of Gary Busey's character. I believe so. Yeah.
Because I was
sure I've read that this
week. If that's not happening, it's the biggest missed opportunity.
Considering how freaking similar they look and sound, the older he gets. Last Jedi, freaking out. But yeah, so right. So my beef, the cons of this new trailer.
Decepticons. Is it a Transformers crossover? Cross the Transformers mention off the bingo card.
That would be cool. There'll be at least 5 other mentions of it before the podcast is through, I imagine.
Yes.
Each one will get you closer to bingo. And if you get a 6th mention, you get a free drink. Go to the bar to claim it after the game. So...
what's your beef?
My beef is, it's this trailer and the last one of Jurassic World did the movie for me.
Yeah.
I can tell the plot of the whole film, aside from the specifics from these trailers.
Right, let's get it on tape now,
okay.
So to speak, because we were obviously recording a reel-to-reel. Let's get it on record now. Tell me what you think the plot of The Predator is, in as much detail as you can, and when the movie comes out and we review it, we will come back to this.
So there's a separate research team spinning off from a knowledge gained from the first 2 films, who have dealt with and probably encountered this stuff before.
Yeah.
Stuff from the research facility that's looking into this gets taken home by one of the people, and a kid plays with a bit of the nonsense.
Go on.
That sets off a homing signal, and a Predator ship hones in on that area to find the lost tech and retrieve it.
Yes.
A team have to deal with him. This includes Boyd Holbrook's character. He's a more recent addition to this. We've encountered this ship people. And then they get carried off to the facility to keep them quiet because the government facilities will ever think they're going to leak the information. Hence the bus full of people being taken away. Meanwhile, the Predator that has arrived and that they've dealt with and does a bit of recon and Predator shit around the town gets captured by the government lot. They DNA sample the fuck out of it to finish something they themselves have been making, which is probably a Predator deterrent. It's probably a version of one of these creatures using what they found before in the aims of creating, spoiler, the ultimate soldier. And the final act of the movie is that Predator trying to finish its business, get its shit and leave, and this thing going haywire and killing anyone and everyone, and it results in a Predator on Predator fight at the end of the movie.
I don't know. I feel like
military applications, blah blah blah.
I feel like from the dialogue in the...
And the people who have been locked up previously will be the ragtag group that actually deal with it in this situation.
See, from the dialogue in the trailer, I feel like the big Predator is a Predator creation, not a human creation.
See, I'm not so sure. And I shall tell you for why, good sir.
Tell me for how and tell me for why.
We've done that. We talked about this last week. We've done it. Predators featured like the higher up sort of chain, like the new breed of them, which were bigger and stronger fuckers from the original planet itself.
I don't know if they were the bigger breed. They were different.
They were bigger, grey and brown buggers, and they're covered in scales and like red markings, and they had long bloody heads and everything. And I think subtly it's an Earth creation that will lead eventually to that stuff in the future in the time of Predators, because Predators happens I believe after the Predator, timeline wise. I think Predators happens in like 2030, something like that.
What makes you say that?
I can't recall. I'm sure I read this week that they said this one takes place between 2 and 3.
Because it seems like everything in Predators is contemporary.
That's true, but they also don't specify like when they talk about like coups and stuff that the assassins have been linked to. They don't talk about modern day political groups or things like that. They sort of keep it vague. It could be that this movie takes place in the late 90s, early 2000s, and Predators takes place in the late 2000s.
If this is a period piece, a recent period piece, I am so down for that shit.
Oh, I'd be down for that shit. I'd be so down for that shit.
I fucking love like things that take place within the last 20 years.
Yeah. What do they call it? They call it it's like a cycle.
The cycle of nostalgia.
Cycle of nostalgia.
Not so much that. It's like...
Oh, no, but stuff from when we were younger is fun to revisit because we have vague memories of it because we only got the childlike version of it all. Like the child's perspective of that world.
Yeah.
So to see that world in a grown-up context is always really cool.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm really looking forward to Captain Marvel, because I'm like, oh my god, I was a child in the 90s. I can't wait to see what the 90s looked like from adults' POV.
Only 90s kids will remember this superhero who fought the Skrulls.
If that's not something in Spider-Man Far From Home, I'll be so upset. Like, someone just briefly looks at a BuzzFeed article that says, you know you're a 90s kid if you remember the Skrull invasion. Come on, that's a good... Marvel, hire us. Just for that line. Just pay us like 50 quid.
I will write you a Paste Pot Pete movie. I will do it.
Netflix original.
Paste Pot
Pete. My god, a Netflix original set in the MCU. It's a one-off film. It's 18 certificate, and it's the story of Paste Pot Pete trying to make his mark as a supervillain in a much more violent world than he was expecting. Yeah. He's a classic fish out of water in a world he never made.
Oh no, that's a Howard the Duck movie.
No. He's a fish out of water in a world he's grown accustomed to.
Hey, that was the tagline for the original Howard the Duck series. Trapped in a world he never made.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
But apart from me thinking I know the story, and check back in 4 months' time, kids. I like the look of the visuals. I like the dark tone where you can still see shit. AVP Requiem.
Is it just me, or is the normal-looking Predator practical?
Yes.
That looks like a dude in a fucking suit.
In fact, while you're talking, NECA unfortunately sort of spoiled it a bit this week by releasing images of the toy of the ultimate version of the Predator from the film.
You say it's unfortunate, I say it's foreplay.
Well, it's unfortunate only in the sense that we now know what it looks like top to bottom in full lighting. But considering you like that sort of shit, you kinky devil, here he is. Here's your boy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's got gold stuff in his, he's less on the arm. Oh, he's more on the armour, but less on the body coverings.
Yeah.
He's got blades on both arms, so he's not a detonator in sight. He's got dual gauntlets. The mask's nice. I do like the mask.
The mask is nice.
You get a lot of shots of that in this trailer. And here's what he looks like in the second half of the movie. Presumably when he's breaking out of the place they've kept him. So he's all bare-armed and he's a bit scrawny. Yeah, so it's a cool looking Predator. It's very AVP in terms of the face.
Do we know who's playing the Predator?
I'm not sure. I don't think it'd be... Is it Ian White who played him in the AVP films? I don't think it'd be him because it's been like 10 odd years. It might be a bit knackering for him to do that stuff. But you know what I mean? It's got like the bigger chin of the of like the AVP one. It's got more of a hero look to its face. Because in AVP they designed them to be more... They designed the Predators, specifically the main one, which I think was called Scar in the script. They designed him more like a superhero, they said. Like, when you look at the design books, he's got a triangular sort of torso, like he's got big, broad shoulders and a wide chest, and he's got a big, like, Superman chin. And the reason they did that, and he's less scarred compared to the others, the reason they did that is so that at the end you would buy that the two of them, like he and What's-Her-Face, team up. At the end, you'd buy, okay, he's a good guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just made him look more generically like a hero, like a superhero physique. Whereas this guy's a lot more wiry. A lot more scrawny and scrappy looking. But he's got the big old chin.
I can't see anyone credited as a Predator.
He's also got a very tiny shoulder cannon on his right shoulder.
I can, however, see that on IMDb, Jake Busey is credited as Sean Keyes, which would place him as at least having the same surname as
Gary Busey!
Gary Busey from Predator 2.
What's the best thing about Predator 2, Matt? Is it the film? Or is it the special features?
It's the special features where you can just watch Gary Busey be fucking crazy. That guy is unhinged. We need to do a Predator episode before the movie comes out.
Yeah.
It's out in September.
Yeah.
So
we need to do a
Predator franchise episode.
Let us do a Predator. What? What's back there?
Because it'd be an excuse for me to finally crack my Predator Trilogy Blu-ray set.
Do you have the big wide one, or is yours the slimmer?
The single case
Oh,
one.
you beauty!
Yeah,
mine's that really ugly big silver one that's got side profile of one of the bigger Predators masks on the front, and it's like that looks like nothing I associate with these movies. What is going on?
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah, I have got
better than the original DVD release, which just has its face on the front cover, and you're like, great, just ruin one of the best parts of the film. Like, there's his face on the front.
See, you keep saying this, but I think people know what Predators look like
now,
just
absolutely.
from cultural osmosis.
That's fair enough.
So why wouldn't you put that on the front of the Blu-ray?
Because in the movie... Well, this was on the DVD release in 2003 for Predator, the 2D special edition. But, again, part of the joy of that movie is that nice little reveal at the end of, oh, God, like, that's what it looks like.
This is
just keep his mask on the cover. Nowadays, fair enough, but...
People know what it... 2003, people knew what a Predator looked like. Without its mask on.
But they hadn't watched it since they bought the VHS in the early 90s and forgotten about it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Besides, that moment is beautiful. That's the best moment out of all the movies. It's that it just takes its mask off as it's disrobing all of its weapons, ready for a fisticuff fight with Arnie, and he just goes, "You're one ugly motherfucker," and it just roars.
You just spoiled that moment for everyone, Christopher.
Yeah, I did.
How dare
I'm as bad as the DVD cover.
A little brief one before we move on to another topic. Apparently,
briefs.
Kevin Feige's been out. He's been out and about this
Congratulations!
week saying, yes, we are bringing more LGBTQ characters to the Marvel movies, including some characters you already know. They just haven't
established their
sexuality yet. You will be seeing it in future movies, so we are working on it.
In terms of, alright, I mean, this is really crass to speculate, like, who's gay, who's straight and everything. But out of our main cast members, in terms of our big players in the MCU, who could it be? I mean, we know what Cap's sexual orientation is.
We know Valkyrie's bi.
Valkyrie's bi. Thor's probably bi.
Probably.
I mean, you know, the sort of the slight Viking-y tie-in with the Asgardian stuff. Everybody's just, you know, pillaging and what's it. Make it a bit more Grecian and everybody's feeling up everybody. And
yeah.
Stark's straight as an arrow.
Yeah.
Banner is straight from what we know. Like, you know, Betty and Natasha. Natasha could be any which way, but she doesn't really form that kind of relationships until she meets Bruce.
Are there any characters you reckon
Clint
could be...
is married to a wife and has children, so...
One could be gay?
One could be gay.
I'm thinking of like... Not just bi characters, 'cause I think bi is a bit of a cop-out.
They sort of establish everybody...
Not to say that bi is a cop-out, but making a character bisexual is kind of...
We're having words on Jim.
I know, right? But yeah, I feel like making a character saying, this character's bi is just kind of... Well, yeah, but that you only still have to only represent them one way. You can just say that they're bi.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're saying, okay, this character is gay, then you are specifically going against the established
canon,
sort of. Yeah. So doing that for someone like Wong or even Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Making Carol lesbian or something like that, I think would be a pretty ballsy.
It would also keep Carol fucking far away from some of the unnecessarily weird shit they've done with that character's romantic life in the comics.
Maria, it would also change the nature of her relationship to the original Marvel.
Yeah.
It's probably something a bit more interesting than just, oh, hey, this is a alien dude I'm in love with.
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury?
After Avengers 4, Nick Fury settles down with his as previously not seen boyfriend on a fucking tropical island. They leave the rest of the world alone.
Or Maria Hill, for that matter.
Maria Hill? Yeah. Rhodey.
Possibly Rhodey.
Yeah.
There is that moment in Age of Ultron, though, where he's trying to impress those women with his with his superhero stories, which implies that he's probably at least interested in women.
Yeah. Sam. Like we've seen Sam sort of give like a look at Natasha at the start of Winter Soldier, but it could also be to the fact that she was driving a fucking delicious car as well. Yeah. It could just be the overall image of that's a sexy lady in an amazing car taking Captain America somewhere. Damn, this is awesome.
Stylish as shit.
Bucky.
Don't listen, everyone.
He's out of his conditioning, and now he's coming out.
Everyone wants Bucky and Cap to be a thing.
I don't think Cap will be. I think as quick as it seems to be, I think his thing with Sharon in Civil War has enough legs for it to be a thing, and I would rather see that play out now because there's an interesting story. I feel like, do I love you, or do I just love you because you remind me of the person I loved?
I think that's one of those stories though where it's
Spidey. Sorry, Spidey could be bi.
That's not a bad shout.
It'd be very modern, and it'd be very in terms of like. You know, there's teenagers have less of this sort of conditioned put everyone in categories thing.
Yeah.
So it would be, definitely a good way to do it. And also, it would be like their flagship fucking character in terms of the company as a whole. Ned, yeah. I don't think those two get together. I'd rather them be buddies.
I don't
just because their relationship as buddies is fucking hilarious.
I just feel like an interesting way to create tension in that dynamic as they're both growing up is for Ned to be struggling with. Peter to be struggling with keeping his identity as Spider-Man's secret, while Ned is struggling
with sexual identity. Oh god, there's a story there.
Especially as they get to like college age, and everyone starts to be a bit more.
That would be a really good story. Oh god, damn it, that's
if
good.
If you wanted to lean into the sort of teen drama angle, then I think that could be an interesting story to tell. But also, what would be a more refreshing take on it is just having a character be out and not be a source of angst or conflict. It's just there, which I think is the better route to go because that's more representative.
I think if the character's a young character, you have to deal with the sort of the confrontations they come up against because again it is stuff you deal with at that age based on your situation and how people take it around you. Yeah. And there's a story worth telling there, but certainly older characters they should just be like out proud and not necessarily loud, but like definitely not keeping it quiet.
But there's plenty of characters.
And we're not because there's going to be someone listening going like, "Oh, do you just want to be walking around all flamboyant?" No, that's not what we're saying.
Just be as they are, but they like dudes or women.
You know how sexuality works in real life.
How people actually are.
God.
Yeah, just like, but there's plenty of characters in the MCU movies that haven't really addressed their sexuality, and there's plenty of room for that in future movies, especially as the sort of core of the first wave. Moves into the background or exits completely.
Yeah.
So, because we know we're going to get the Black Widow movie is pretty much happening.
Please just announce it now. Isn't it weird that we're getting to the end of that slate and we've not heard what we know Black Panther's a second one's in development, but it's not slated yet.
Yeah.
Spidey is happening, and Guardians 3 is not only happening. James Gunn finished the script this week.
Yes.
He posted a picture of the front cover on Twitter and just wrote the caption like "with all of my heart," and it's like, oh, because you get the sense that this is the closing for the Guardians, either as a franchise or at least as James Gunn as the
I think
storyteller.
Some of those characters will survive on, not like in a sense of they're going to die.
When I say close the story, I don't mean like a big sacrifice.
Yes,
like
I think some of those characters
would just that'd be a nice place to leave telling those stories, because we'll be like, oh, do you remember the Guardians? There was 3 really cool movies, and then they were in that Avengers one as well. That's really cool. And then leave it there and stuff.
I think we'll be seeing some of those characters going forward, even after Guardians 3.
Quickie prediction: who do you think has definitely got a movie? Not talking sequels. I think Strange is going to get a sequel.
Yeah,
I think Black Panther's definitely getting a sequel, and I think Captain Marvel will probably get a sequel too. But if you were to go, which new character do you think is definitely going to pop up? Like 1 or 2 picks. Who would you go for? Because I think Ms. Marvel. I think Kamala Khan is a definite, possibly as a sequel to Captain Marvel, like a Kamala Khan centric Captain Marvel sequel. Do you know what I mean? Like a passing of the torch kind of thing. Yeah, in a way. Even though they're completely different heroes, but she's obviously influenced by Carol and stuff. And I think a Ms. Marvel movie is definitely happening, and probably
we know they can't do a Hulk solo movie. They want to, but they can't because of Universal.
It's sort of in between. I think they'd have to release it with I think they could definitely come to a deal to release one with Universal.
Maybe,
but I don't think a Hulk solo movie is the way to go. I think you buddy him again. Black Widow movie. Have it be a road trip into her past, and have the supporting characters be Hawkeye and Hulk.
I like Hulk as a supporting character because you get the best of both worlds with Hulk and Bruce.
Yeah, and Mark Ruffalo, who's wonderful in both roles, gets to play out more. Yeah, instead of just popping up in an Avengers flick every 4 years. I mean, Ragnarok was amazing. So
I think what movies we're going to see going forward after the sort of main cast fade back is definitely going to be dependent on what characters land in the newer films.
Yeah.
So there is a potential for a Warlock, but how does that character?
An Adam Warlock film. Yeah.
Also,
Sony have been talking again recently about
interested in Adam Warlock.
Sony have been talking again recently about a Silk movie.
Yeah.
And again, it's just no.
I think it's also going to depend on whether this Fox Disney deal
interesting
goes
character, through. Interesting perspective, but no, just no.
If Fox
extend your Marvel cooperation contract and just make more Spider-Man movies,
I think it's up in the air at the moment, because I think if Disney do acquire Fox, I do think we'll get a Fantastic Four.
Yeah, which I want.
Which I do.
I don't want monopolies. But I do want a Fantastic Four movie made from the POV of people who give a shit.
Absolutely. And I think
even if it ends up being a crossover deal and Disney and Fox work out a thing, and whoever owns it next gets to make the Fantastic Four movie with Disney for the MCU, that would still make me happy, regardless of the business side of it.
So I think there's 3 reasons.
Because it worked for Spidey. So.
3 reasons why it's all in flux. One being they don't know what characters are going to land.
They don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Second reason being they are maintaining a certain amount of secrecy in the wait until after Avengers 4.
Yarb.
Because I think everyone knows that most of those characters are going to be around regardless of what happened to them in Infinity War. Mm-hmm. But we still don't know what's going to happen in 4.
Yeah.
And I think they're waiting on the Fox-Disney merger, because that is going to affect the stable of characters going forward that they have access to, and that would definitely have an impact on future plans.
Yeah. That's a very diplomatic answer you gave. Just say Moon Knight. Can't even joke about Moon Knight. It wouldn't, as a Netflix movie, yes. Moon Knight would make a great Netflix movie. Or like a three episode mini.
I'd love to see a Power Man and Iron Fist movie with Mike Colter. But
yeah, I'd like to see anything with Mike Colter. Yeah. Just more Mike Colter.
I think I'm 5 or 6 episodes into season 2 of Luke Cage. I like it a lot. A lot of people online don't like it. But guess what their main complaints are? We don't like Alfred Woodard.
Really?
There's too much music in this.
What? Did they watch season 1?
Don't know. But like the Luke Cage subreddit is Reddit's a fucking toxic place, and it's full of wankers. Anyway,
especially the wankers subreddit.
Final story of this week before we move on to the email.
Email! One of your magical email.
I want to get deep into this story.
Oh.
It's very interesting.
Oh, should I provide appropriate music?
Said we talk about it.
You did!
It.
See, everyone?
Chapter 2 has begun production.
Yeah.
Colour me excited because, of course, because of that, we now have the full confirmed cast of the Losers Club, plus some others.
Yeah, I saw one this week. Come on, hit me. What you got, boy? What you got? Famalama ding ding.
The production...
Well, for starters, let's confirm one name. Bill Skarsgård.
Yes,
is
Bill
returning
Skarsgård, of course.
as Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
The production... The start of production was made known by a Instagram post from James McAvoy.
Oh, man.
Who is playing Grown-Up Bill.
Aha! Nice.
So
good choice.
That's cool. We also got an Instagram post from Jessica Chastain showing off her Beverly Marsh haircut.
Oh, have we?
Yes.
Oh, shit. I'm going to look that up while you say this. I've not seen that. Because she's adorable as hell.
She's just got a great bob.
Oh.
It's like a bob cut. It's not confirmed whether the kids are returning for flashback stuff or not. It wouldn't surprise me.
I would put money on it. Not only that, I would put money on it not necessarily being for flashbacks, but maybe for nightmare and vision scenarios.
Yeah, possibly.
Because it would be tapping into their past. You see, yes, quite yes.
Adult Ben is Jay Ryan, who I don't know much about other than he's an Australian actor, and he was the lead in that Beauty and the Beast TV show that was on the CW.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
he's playing Ben. So basically, in the tradition of the story, Benny got an upgrade.
Benny got hot.
Benny got hot.
Xavier Dolan is playing Adrian Mellon, so that means they're going to do the. In the book, Adrian is the first victim of one of the first victims of Pennywise after he returns.
Yeah, is it the couple on the bridge?
Yes, the couple on the bridge.
Yeah.
He's one of the couple on the bridge.
That's of course that scene's actually going to get adapted then.
It looks like it.
Because it was ignored in the previous one.
And they
sort of established the bridge as a location in the first movie as well, so...
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of... Oh, Christ, they foreshadowed it in the first movie. Okay, that's
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, because he does a great Jabba impression if you've never seen it.
Grown-up Richie.
Of course he's
Grown-up Richie. Yeah, of course. Because...
And they're going to make horrible things happen to him because they want you at home to go, oh, Bill Hader, he's wonderful and hilarious. Oh, my God!
Yeah.
No spoilers as to whether Richie gets out of the story or not, but still, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him through the ringer more than anyone, apart from, obviously, Stanley.
Grown-up Eddie.
Yep.
James Ransom.
Who looks so much like the kid, it's nuts. Yeah. It's really weird. When you see the photos of them side by side, it's like, yep, that's Eddie.
I think the only thing I've seen him in is Sinister.
Yeah.
But
who's he in Sinister?
He's the deputy in Sinister.
Oh, shit, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's a fun movie.
A lot of like Jay Ryan, I don't think I've seen anything with him in. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting.
Isaiah Mustafa
is grown-up Mike. So that's cool. He's a cool man. Like, he's
a wonderful actor who will forever be referred to in shorthand as the Old Spice guy.
Yeah, the other Old Spice guy.
But he's the other Old Spice guy. But he's always been called the Old Spice just because he's the smooth. But he's a phenomenal actor, and so that's great.
My only concern is he is at least 4 times as cool as a late 30s, early 40s librarian should be.
Yes.
In a small main town.
And of course, Mike's role is much bigger in the second half of the story.
Yeah.
So, that's a good actor to have helming a good actor to be the one to send out the call that brings everyone back.
Yes.
So that's good.
Javier Botet is going to be returning, presumably doing some monster effects and stuff. But
because he was the leper.
Yeah.
In the previous one. Yeah.
Did he do the woman as well?
Yes, I think he did performance cap for the lady. Yeah.
Andy Bean was growing up Stanley Uris. I don't think I've seen anything he's been in.
Stanley's the bully with the lanky hair, right?
No, Stan's the other member of the Losers, the last member of the Losers.
Oh, of course, Stanley. Sorry.
Yeah, Stan.
That's because well, you know what that means though. This guy's gonna have the easiest job of the bunch.
Well,
oh dear.
Will Beinbrink is Tom Rogan, who is Beverly's scumbag husband.
Yeah, of course. Husband. How much does he look like the actor who played the dad? That's what I want to know. Because I wouldn't have been surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised had they cast the same actor and just changed his appearance
it's not
subtly.
A million miles off. That's Stephen Bogert who played Bev's dad in It.
Yeah, he was freaking great. He was proper creepy.
This is
is he listed as well? Flashbacks, I suppose. Yeah. Oh no, flashbacks and nightmare visions. He'll be better.
He's like a handsomer version of him.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I can see it.
Yeah, I can
see it.
I thought they were going to Captain Hook it. Like in most productions of Peter Pan, like Mr. Darling is the same actor as Captain Hook and stuff. But if the previous actor is also in the movie, I can understand why they've not doubled up.
Jess Weitzler from Teeth.
She's the lead.
She's the lead in Teeth.
Yeah, okay.
She is Bill's wife, Audra, who's an actress in the thing.
Yes, who in the TV movie famously had a weird British accent.
Yeah, I think she is supposed to be British.
But in the movie it sounded really odd.
Yeah, it just sounded weird.
It sounded like a New Zealand actor doing a British accent in an American movie. It was really hard to believe. It's really strange.
There's an actress called Ryan Kira Armstrong credited as Victoria, but I don't know anything about that character. And Teach Grant.
Yes, this was the casting announced this week.
Is playing the adult Henry Bowers. So Henry Bowers presumably survives the events of It, Chapter 1.
Kill them all.
His face looks
familiar.
Kill them all!
Kill them all! Kill them all!
His face looks familiar, but I don't think I've seen him in anything.
Do you think he'll have the shock white hair?
Who knows? He's been in loads of stuff, but I'm looking through it and going, I've not seen that, I've not seen this, I've not seen this.
Kill them all! Kill them all! Kill them all!
So yeah, we're getting some adult Henry.
Do you think he's going to tackle a dog wearing a clown suit at any point?
I think that... Oh, so pants. And yet so good. So yeah, Chapter 2 is...
Tasty, beautiful fear.
Chapter 2 is happening.
I am so freaking psyched for this. But what a weird thought. It means we're probably not going to see this till... My predictions are it'll either get a slightly early release and it'll be next summer, or they'll bring it out next September.
That's exactly when it's projected for, September 6th.
I wouldn't be surprised if they brought it forward, though, just to capitalise on the summer movie season, because the big Marvel hitters, for example, next year are over and done with by May. So a June-July release for It wouldn't be a bad shout. It'd definitely dominate the summer.
And I think it's neat that they've chosen less well-known actors, like mainly TV actors, for a lot of the principal roles.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, Jessica Chastain and James McAvoy are going to sell that movie on Star Power alone.
Mm-hmm.
So what they lose out in...
I think the clown's going to be the seller, though, considering how much the effect of that last one is still felt now.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That clown is going to sell that movie.
I'm intrigued by that. I'm excited. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
I'm okay.
It's good.
I'm okay with it.
It's
I'm
good.
okay with it.
It's good.
Speaking of which, I watched Pet Sematary this last week.
Oh God, you showed me clips the other night.
The 18th of, and there's an old dude in that who has the best Maine accent. It's like, sometimes there's better.
Sorry, could you say the line one more time? Sometimes dead is better. Okay?
Sometimes dead is better.
Okay, no, hang on, that was a good take. Can we go one more time? Just a bit more diction, yeah?
I don't wanna.
Sometimes dead is better, okay? Just whenever you're ready.
Sometimes dead is better.
Oh, God, the South Park boys are going to parody this at some point in the future.
I'm listening to the audiobook, which is read by Michael C. Hall.
Okay, Dexter?
Yeah, and he actually does a really good...
Sometimes.
That's a mighty busy road. You want to get that cat fixed? Got you fixed, don't tend to wander.
I've just realised in South Park, their Canadian accent is a Maine accent with the occasional
also,
at the beginning.
There's a character in South Park who mocks that particular...
Yeah, you showed me that as well.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
It's frighteningly on point.
But there's also a Pet Sematary remake coming that's currently shooting.
Really? Of course. Every Stephen King thing has been remade. Wasn't there an announcement that they were doing the Tommy Knockers again?
Oh, it's fucking awful. But Pet Sematary... But the leads in that...
And we're getting Dr. Sleep as well, so...
That could be good.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah. And they'll totally make it a sequel to the Kubrick Shining. They'll do that. They'll use the visual iconography.
I don't know if they'll be able to.
Well, it just depends on what you do. For example, if Ready Player One can get the permission to have that carpet and that hallway... And that,
not in terms of permissions, just in terms of stuff that... Because I've read some of Doctor Sleep.
Yeah.
And you'd have to make some big changes for it to be able to follow on from the Stanley Kubrick Shining.
I think the cultural version of... The version of The Shining that is the most prominent in the cultural mind... is the Kubrick film, so I think they'd have to make tweaks, I think, to make that work. I just want to see him talk to the boy who lives in his mouth. Ewan McGregor doing that stuff. Yes. That'd be quite weird.
But yes, in the new version of Pet Sematary, Jason Clarke and Amy Seimetz are the leads.
Oh, is that Lithgow?
I was just about to say he's playing the sometimes dead is better part.
Sometimes dead is better.
Now,
his version.
That is going to be worth seeing.
Yeah, that would be worth
seeing. Just for John Lithgow doing that ridiculous accent.
Sometimes dead is better. John, what are you doing?
If you want someone...
Why are you Lord Farquaading this?
If you want someone to be simultaneously avuncular and ridiculously scenery chewing, then you get John Lithgow.
Lithgow is brilliant.
I got the Arrow video release of Buckaroo Banzai.
I noticed, yeah. What were the other ones you got on there? You got
Hellraiser and The Thing.
The Thing. See, I've got The Thing, but I don't think mine's Arrow. Arrow have recently acquired a lot of distribution stuff.
I've got the...
I think we follow each other on Twitter, me and Arrow, because I was talking about the one with Ryan Reynolds that was really freaking good. Voices. Yeah. I got that at the time and I was just like, this is great! And I was tweeting about it quite a bit, and then they followed me, so I followed them back.
Nice.
Let's get them to sponsor the show.
I've got the other version.
Give us copies of the Thing to give away.
That'd be good.
That would be quite cool.
I've got the other Blu-ray version of The Thing, but I was like, they were 3 for $20, and I was like...
And they've added stuff to them as well, haven't they? It's like Warner Brothers have done...
their new transfers.
Warner Brothers have done something called like The Collection, because I've got Gremlins 2 from Warner Brothers, The Collection, which is no different from the previous releases of Gremlins 2, except that the soundtrack transfer is in 7.1, and it's got a new audio commentary on it from Joe Dante and Zach Galligan. Oh. And because I'd already bought Gremlins 2, it's back there. I'd bought the only way you could get it in the UK on Blu-ray was to buy the US one. So I'd bought that, and then like half a year later, this UK The Collection one came out. I was like, God damn it!
There are some weird movies,
but it's my favorite. It's my favorite movie, so I'm happy to own multiple copies of it. I've got the box set there, the DVD box set we both made. The VHS is in the shed in a box.
Same thing goes with The Thing. I'm happy to have multiple copies of The Thing.
It's Gremlins 2 and Labyrinth, the films I think I own the most versions of. Weirdly,
it's not bad.
Yeah, Labyrinth's here in a box set with Dark Crystal. It's a very pretty box.
I don't have that many doubling up. Just because I haven't got that many discs.
Oh, and Spider-Man 1 and 2. I have 3 copies of. That's really sad. If I dip this monitor, so the DVD copy's there, and the original Blu-ray box set release, and downstairs is the updated Blu-ray box set release with the more special features on it. I have a problem. And that problem is Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is pretty good.
It's so good.
Let's
Spider-Man 1.
Let's read an email. Let's get off this Spider-Man 2 loving.
This bent, if you will.
Apparently I have to read this in another particular voice.
Oh, who's this from? Who's torturing your vocal cords?
This is from George.
George? Hello, George.
Captain Adnan11 on Twitch.
And... Oh yeah, you joined the thing last week. Hello.
See if you can work out what this terrible impression is. Fuck it.
Sometimes dead is better.
Sometimes dead is better. No, it's not Judd Crandall from Pet Sematary. Although if someone wants to send in an email and say read it as Judd Crandall from Pet Sematary, I will do that.
Someone please send that in now. Okay, here we go. Matt's impression of something.
Greetings, bovine Dalek creepers. It is I, Captain Adnan11 on Twitch. I'd like to start by saying well done on a successful Big Damn Cast Live. It was a lot of fun not only to see your moving faces but also interacting with everyone in the chat. Which brings me to a revision to my top 5 last week. I somehow in my stupidity managed to overlook the wonderful Christmas episode with special guest Father Christmas. So I'd like to place it at number 4 above Chucky Watch. And as Guy Lambert takes pictures of Father Christmas for the Daily Bugle, I hope he sees this and passes my apologies on to Father Christmas himself. I'd also like to say thank you for both for keeping the show running every week. The hard work means a lot especially when knowing about how difficult it can be to coordinate around work and life in general. As well as all the personal issues you both spoke about last week, you never let it show and always deliver a good time through all your content, so thank you. If you did start a Patreon or started selling merch, I'd definitely be a supporter. Plus, I'd love a big damn hoodie or something. Now, on to some irrelevant questions. What is the movie or TV series you have owned the most times? Oh, that went south. What is the movie or TV series you've owned the most times or on the most formats?
That's a frighteningly sort of... That's terrifying that question is in this email. Right? Considering what we've just said.
My TV series will be Doctor Who Series 1, which I've had 5 different versions of. Original 4 volumes on DVD.
Oh, the
4
vanillas.
volumes on UMD for my PSP.
Oh my god, was it on UMD?
Complete Series 1 box set, Blu-ray re-release, and finally the Blu-ray Steelbook. Film will be Back to the Future trilogy that I've owned on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And also, what is a film that you don't like that you own? Mine is X-Men Origins, because I only have it for completion's sake. Thanks again, lads. Hope you both have had a wonderful week and look forward to hearing from you soon. Goodbye, my dears. George.
Is that Jon Snow?
Yeah.
That was really good.
It was Jon Snow.
About 3 or 4 words in, I was like, that's Kit Harington. You're Kit Harington. Kit Harington.
I'm doing Kit Harington's I'm Northern Honest voice.
He got married last week.
Yeah, him and Rose Leslie got married.
Congrats,
So
team. Congrats
to them.
by Jingo.
Do you believe love can bloom on a film set? Because apparently you can.
I'll give him a week.
Do you believe
for one of them has to kill the other one for spoilers?
Can love bloom on the battlefield? Metal Gear.
Snake.
It can't be.
Snake. So thanks, George, for that. A good request.
Movie or TV series you've owned the most times on the most formats?
I think movie. It's. I think Spider-Man 2 is actually the movie I've owned the most because Gremlins 2. Ooh, Gremlins 2. I've had on VHS. I've had on DVD. And I've got 2 Blu-ray versions. That's 4. But Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 I've both had on VHS, DVD, and again 2 versions of the Blu-ray. But I also have Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 on UMD. So it's got to be Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Yeah, Labyrinth sort of close behind. How about yourself, good sir?
You know what it is.
The Thing.
No.
Oh, really? Transformers the movie?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
2 VHS copies, because I wore one of them out. A DVD copy. And the Blu-ray. The anniversary Blu-ray that you bought me.
I've got quite a few Doctor Who Series 1s. I got the original... I waited for Christmas that year, and I got the big chunky box set. Then when Lou and I moved in together, the smaller version she owned went on the shelf.
Yeah.
And since I've got the Steelbook of Series 1.
I am keeping an eye out for the UMD of Transformers the movie, because it does exist on UMD, and then I will have it in the most formats ever. I don't have my VHS copies anymore, actually.
Next time I go back to Lincoln, at some point, for whatever reason, I'll have a look in CEX for you, because that CEX has got a massive UMD library. Massive UMD library. The Gotham Games there is a really cool game. They don't have so much of the PSP stuff, but...
But yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for it.
Keep it.
I don't have any UMD films because why would you? Like,
well,
Brave Man George.
Do you remember how amazing we thought they were when we first?
I never thought they were amazing, but I didn't get a PSP until later on in its life.
I took The Nightmare Before Christmas with me on a camping holiday, and it was hilarious because I watched it. I couldn't sleep one night, so I just turned my PSP on, whacked in this disc, put my headphones on. Luckily, it was just me in my area of the tent.
Yeah.
So I knew I wasn't going to wake anyone up with the of the disc who were whirring away. I think Night Before Christmas was the perfect movie length.
Well, I was
less than an hour and a half. I got through the film and a couple of special features before the battery died.
Nice.
Whereas the other movies, you really kind of have to have it hooked up to something to see them all the way through.
I was twiddling around on YouTube the other day and I saw Digital Foundry had done a retrospective of the PSP, because PSP and DS were announced at the same E3.
Oh, wow.
And they did a retrospective of both those reveals and how they compared to what came after.
Would that be 2006?
No,
because I got my PSP second hand in 2007.
Yeah, it must have been 2006.
Yeah, because I bought my first paycheck for my first job. I got paid £100 on that paycheck, and I spent £90 of it.
It was 2005
on a second-hand PSP, charge leads, and two UMDs.
No, it was...
and the UMDs I bought were Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2.
It was 2004.
Really? But that long ago?
Yeah, because it was a summer after I left high school.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Before I had my PSP, my brother Toby had his DS because the original was that big silver one, and the screen was the top half was smaller than the bottom.
Which is not what they showed its initially E3 reveal. It was a different shape. Well, it was similar, but it was different. It was encasing.
I think the DS definitely won that.
The PSP
console war, considering it's
reveal,
still going to a point.
There's literally a part of the press conference where they show Spider-Man 2 playing on UMD on the PSP, but it's not. They're just filming the PSP playing the movie.
Yeah. What the hell?
No, so it's this lovely high glossy video of a PSP playing Spider-Man 2. It's ridiculous.
It's really strange.
It's like, look, we got movies, and they're like, yeah, but you can't, and you can plug them into a TV and watch them on a big screen, and then you do that, and I'm like, no, this is not even DVD quality. Yeah, why would you do this?
It's terrible on a big screen. Yeah. I had 4 UMDs that were mine that weren't ones. 5 UMDs that were mine that I didn't borrow because I borrowed Nightmare for Christmas. I had the Red Dwarf Smeg Ups because that was BBC testing the water for Red Dwarf.
Yeah, that's a really weird one, isn't it?
Red Dwarf was a big request for UMD release, so they released the Smeg Ups and Smeg Offs combo.
Yeah,
and if that sold well enough, they would have started releasing the box sets, but I guess they never did.
No.
I got Spider-Man 1 and 2. I bought them when I first got it. And I got Mighty Boosh and the League of Gentlemen Series 1.
Nice.
Both of those Series 1s.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just a weird thought that was a thing. And now I've downloaded League of Gentlemen Series 1 on my iTunes. I can stick it on my phone and watch it whenever.
Yeah.
And it probably won't even wear the battery down or make as much noise.
The PSP has a lovely screen, but I don't want to watch a movie on it.
Yeah. Unless you're in a tent in the middle of the night, you can't sleep, and you put a movie on. In which case, in the
days before tablets and smartphones, it was a.
I mean, the Vita you can rent movies on, but I'm fine.
No,
I'm fine. You. I'll play Persona 4 and God of War HD collection. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you can get Netflix on it in the States, but for some reason you can't do it over here.
You know, I've still not played yet.
What's that?
Hatoful Boyfriend.
Is
it bad?
I've not played it.
I'm just thinking. Terrible. I played that half an hour of the Qbert remaster. Was like, well, this is Qbert.
This is
just deleting it.
This is Qbert, but worse.
I played a bunch of Furmins and was like, this is Angry Birds, but more puzzle based. I'm done.
I want to get into Invisimals.
Yeah, I want to get into your Invisimals.
But recently, I've been playing Pokemon Silver. Not Soul Silver.
Silver.
Original Silver on
emulated
the 3DS
download?
Virtual Console.
Oh god! Wow.
I've got.
I was going to pull out Silver. I realised I didn't get Silver. I got Crystal.
I've got a new 3DS XL with yellow, red, and gold, and I've got a 2DS with blue and silver on them.
God damn!
So I can trade.
Do the consoles make love?
No, sadly not.
Oh.
I'm going to get Crystal at some
point out a baby one.
You can get because they've re-released Crystal and they've put in Japan there was an event where you could get Celebi from the shrine in the Alex Forest. And they put that in the Virtual Console version.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, remember that thing you read about when it first came out and you couldn't do because you weren't in Japan? Here you go, guys. That's really sweet.
And they can all trade with each other. They've emulated the link cable stuff with the 3DS wireless.
Yeah.
So you can link trade with each other. And the 3DS also has an IR port on it, an infrared port, so you can do the mystery gift stuff between Gold, Silver, and Crystal still. You can't do it with.
I love that so much.
You can't do it with the Game Boy Color. You can do it with other 3DS Virtual Console versions.
That's really cute, man.
Yeah.
Oh, these beautiful things.
And the knowledge that Nintendo aren't really going hard on the Virtual Console stuff for the Switch to the point where they haven't really announced anything is one of the things that's holding me off on getting a Switch. Because one of the things I really like about the 3DS and the Wii U is the Virtual Console.
We decided after watching the Let's Go trailer that we want one now. Like, there's enough stuff on it that makes us want one.
Yeah.
But, like, we're talking... Let's Go comes out in November.
Yeah.
We're going to wait till even after the January sales. We're waiting for bundles to go down and then we'll invest in one.
Yeah. I'm still...
We've also decided that we're getting Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and Lou wants Let's Go Eevee and I want Let's Go Pikachu. So.
I am still undecided on whether I want to get Pokemon Let's Go. But I say this every time a new Pokemon game comes out, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to do this one, and then I always do.
Eventually, whether it's on release or a little while afterwards.
Yeah. Always do.
They got you hooked, man. They got you hooked.
They always pull me back in.
Speaking of pulls back in, was there other questions?
Oh, yes.
We totally drew off on a UMD tangent.
What is a film that you don't like that you own?
Oh. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. I think that's terrible.
I'm trying to think of what's on my DVD shelf.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, I agree.
Yeah, well, Kanisha...
Attack of the Clones.
Kanisha has X-Men the quadrilogy, so that's got Origins Wolverine and X-Men 3.
But it's mercifully thin, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it's a really slim case, so it's like fair enough.
Not even on Blu-ray that I don't like. I don't think so, because we've got some that Kanisha borrowed off a friend, and one of them was 30 minutes or less, which is that ridiculous fucking thing about, oh, it's a pizza guy who has to go on a bank robbery because he's wearing a bomb vest, which is sort of based in the most crass and offensive fashion
on a true story, which has now been covered in Evil Geniuses on
it's fucking horrible.
Netflix.
It's a terrible movie, and the fact that they turned that story into a romantic comedy is fucking ridiculous. So I don't technically own that, but we do have it on. The way we borrowed it off someone and we haven't given it back.
The way movies work is horrendous. I mean, in that case, it's crass and disrespectful, but it's like the Three Stooges movie that came out like 4 or 5 years ago, that the only really good thing people have to say about it is the 3 central actors do a damn good job at making you believe they're the exact same performers and characters as the original. Was originally, for about 7 years, a biopic about the Three Stooges that had Sean Penn and Jim Carrey attached to it. Yeah. It was going to be a biopic, and then instead it just turned into a here's the Three Stooges story set in 2014 or whatever. It's like, okay.
I don't think I have many.
But that's because the Farleys got hold of it. They were originally producing it when it was a autobiographical movie.
Yeah.
They were just attached because they'd got the rights to make a thingy movie about it, but they weren't planning on making a film, so someone else was going to do it, and then eventually it just became them making a screwball comedy aimed at kids.
Sure.
Snooky's in it.
That's a thing.
Snooky's in it.
Sure.
Snooky.
If I was to live with my parents, I would have plenty of DVDs that I don't like.
What's that one?
Fucking awful.
What's that one at your birthday where your dad was arguing for it being great? What was it?
I Am Omega, which is a mockbuster rip-off of I Am Legend.
Oh shit! Because I said to him I said to him oh, is that the original Omega Man? And he was like,
that's what it's taken title from.
It's from that. It's from that. And I was like, I don't know what that means.
Starring Mark Dacascos.
What? Mark Dacascos?
Yeah. You know, the other half of the Double Dragon twins.
Oh,
brothers.
shit. Okay.
The Brotherhood of the Wolf.
What? So is this an Asylum film?
I don't
know. One of those
I don't think it's an
studios
Asylum film, but it's one of those sort of studios.
That came out on DVD in the months after the release of I Am Legend.
Yes.
Into cinemas.
Yes.
Wow.
He also has...
I mean, I like your dad a lot. He's a good man. He's a terrible woman, but he's a good man.
He also has all of the Underworld movies.
I can forgive one. I can forgive number one. It's not great, but people dig it.
And Blade Trinity.
Yeah. You know, it's cheaper to buy Blade and Blade 2 on Blu-ray than it is to buy a trilogy box set. Because a lot of the time you end up with movies you don't really want because it's cheaper to buy the box sets than it is to buy the individual films.
Well,
But Blade, it's like £6 for each 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, and the box set's like £15.
Well, with the Jaws DVD box sets, they tried to trick you because
it's not got Jaws in it.
The box set is just 2, 3 and The Revenge.
Yeah, it just says Jaws, the collection.
You
pick it up and it's 2, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we waited for the anniversary release of Jaws, a couple of years ago. They did like a big release. We waited for that because we tried to buy it and we kept finding those box set versions.
I've got the Blu-ray of the where it's like a book.
Yeah, that's one we've got. Yeah, like white wraparound. Yeah, it's beautiful. The spine's gorgeous. It really pops.
Yeah,
there's quite a few like that with the white. The spine is just white with red writing, and it's partly because the movie design was like that in the first place. But they've really embraced it for the Blu-ray. Like Scarface, that's like the 35th anniversary edition. That was gorgeous. Little Shop of Horrors. You can now get Little Shop of Horrors in that Warner Brothers collection, but I recommend searching out the US Region 1 version because it's in a book.
Okay.
And it's got a booklet attached to it. It's beautiful. And it has the original ending, recoloured.
I'm sure I'm going to...
It only survived in black and white, like sort of semi-masters, and they recoloured it. And yeah, so you can watch the movie when you press play. It gives you the option, watch the theatrical cut or the director's cut. Because the director's cut has the ending that the stage show does, which is everybody dies and the world gets overrun by the plants.
Excellent.
And the puppetry work that went into that ending is so good. Like, there's all these sets, and it's brilliant. There's one shot where there's just like 6 of them clinging to the Statue of Liberty, and it looks amazing. And it was cut because test audiences at the time were like, "Oh, I don't like that it's sad." It's like, you've just watched a black comedy. Like, it's a black comedy. Yeah. Why do you want the happy ending? But I also like the theatrical ending too.
But the people were singing, so I thought it was a nice film.
It's also got a bit more of the Meek Shall Inherit in that cut as well.
Okay.
Which is much longer on stage. And the soundtrack version of the film has the stage-length version. It's weird, because the soundtrack to Little Shop of Horrors, the movie version, contains all the full-length versions of the songs that are featured in the stage version, as opposed to the slightly cut-down versions that appear in some of the film.
Yeah.
But it doesn't include a couple of tracks that are just in the stage. Like, it doesn't have Mushnik and Son or It's a Gas on it, for example. Which is a shame, because I would have liked to have heard like Steve Martin's interpretation of that song. Yeah. But I guess they only had enough money to pay him to do the Dentist song and then send him on his way.
It's on his ukulele solo album.
I thought you were being serious. Now I kind of hope that it is.
Maybe I am.
I love that show. I love that show, and I love that film, and I love that soundtrack. I love Frank Oz.
I'm trying to think.
What a warm man!
I have all the prequels on DVD, and I don't like them.
Yeah, I've got them in the Saga box set.
Well,
then after that, they released the individual versions.
Well, I bought them on their original release on DVD, so I've still got those versions.
Oh, good sir, kind sir.
Star Wars.
We got 1 and 2 on VHS, then number 3 on DVD.
A New Hope was definitely a contender for a film I owned in the most formats because I had 3 different VHS copies of it because I had the original. No, 4. I had the original release.
Yeah.
I had a taped off the telly at Christmas home video. I had the
Last Chance Before It's Gone version from the 90s, the blue box with the red writing, yeah.
And then I got the special edition box
in the silver and gold box.
And then I got the DVD
that farted when you closed it.
Yes. And the DVD box set does that as well. Of the original trilogy.
Oh yeah, because the DVD box set was like a silver version of that gold design, wasn't it? Yeah. Because you've seen it on the window ledge. I've got the gold one out there.
I used to have that.
Which opens with the behind the scenes featurettes for the
really
updated
annoying.
Effects, and
really
then it's
annoying.
the film. It's so dumb.
But yeah, so
dumb.
I've got the prequels. I don't like them.
Do you remember when special features used just to be added on to the end of the film? Like a Labyrinth, the widescreen cassette of Labyrinth has the making of Labyrinth afterwards. It's like a full 25-minute documentary.
I had a VHS copy of Alien Resurrection, which had a making of Alien Resurrection featurette after the film, presented by Ron Perlman.
I loved that shit when they used to do that. Because then you would stick around while the credits were rolling, you'd go and get a drink and go to the toilet, and then you'd come back and you'd watch the behind-the-scenes featurette.
I used to have a VHS which had Terminator and Terminator 2 on it.
Oh, the double features!
Yeah.
I had that for Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
it was Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Boy.
And every time I just watched Ghostbusters, it'd be like, right, I need to go to sleep now. It's like, 9:30 at night, and I'm like 10. I'm like, right, I need to go to sleep now.
Yeah.
And I'd wait to the end of the credits, because I just want to hear the end of the music. And then Ghostbusters 2 starts, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to stay up for the 2 hours then.
I had it for years.
And they're always on the front, like, it's just like the posters, and there'd be like some kind of wacky slash or something in the middle separating them, and yeah.
But
yeah.
I had...
That's how I watched Gremlins for the longest time before I bought them in a Matalan. There was a version from, I think it was from the Blockbusters in Walkden actually, I used to rent, that was a double feature.
Okay.
Which had, again, it was both of them on the same tape, and it was like a slice thing. That's how I watched them for the longest time.
For years and years, until the special edition box set, and when I bought it, the only version of Return of the Jedi that I had was a taped off the TV at Christmas special, with the with the scrolling banners at the bottom for call this number to donate to charity.
Of course, they used to do that a lot more on
podcast. And the beginning of it was missing, so I think it started with Luke arriving at Jabba's palace.
Shit.
So there's a good chunk of it missing.
Shit, that's like a good 20 minutes, nearly.
Yeah.
Damn.
Speaking of good chunks of it missing, we've just wasted a good chunk of the day recording this episode of
You've been listening to 2 old men talk about videotapes.
Fucking hell.
How can they get in touch, Matt?
You can get us at Big Damn Cast on Twitter. BigDamnContact@gmail.com. Keep an eye on Twitter for our stream and content schedules. I've really not been doing any Adventures in Backlog. I need to get back on that shit.
That's alright. When's your new internet connection up and running proper?
No, it's not, everything's sorted and stuff.
Right.
It's just
You're lucky.
I haven't really had time to get on it.
Well then, you know what that means.
All last week...
do you know what that means? I don't know.
All last week, me and Kanisha were off together, so I just didn't do anything because I wanted to spend some time...
You wanted to live a little.
With my better half, just enjoying a week off together.
You and your best gal.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to have to try and put out a stream this week.
That sounds filthy.
And I'm working on some other bits and pieces, which hopefully we'll see not too distant future.
Well, we know we've got a recorded Predator special now.
Yes. So that's going to be an episode coming up.
Yeah.
And then Incredibles 2 is out in July. So that's going to
be... we get Incredibles 2 late, and we get Ant-Man late, apparently. We're getting it in August.
I thought Ant-Man was always August.
I don't know if it had been set in stone, but I know this week it was like, there's the UK release date for sure.
And I think until... Those are probably the next 2 big episodes, aren't they? There's not that much coming out, I don't think.
Yeah.
So...
Apart from us.
Never.
We're coming out!
I like it here in the closet.
No, it's cozy, and there's a fawn.
Everything's cozy in this fucking weather.
I get handed Turkish delights by a random woman in a sleigh.
I wish this fucking wardrobe did go to Narnia because I need it to be fucking cold.
It is horribly warm.
I'm so warm.
Well, if you can handle the hotness, email in bigdamcontact@gmail.com, bigdamcast on Twitter. And Big Damn Stream on Twitch, where if you listen to this in the week of release, you might still be able to get to watch the full uncut version of our live episode. It's there till it's gone. Yeah, get it now, before it's gone. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
And then the special edition came out.
And the special edition will come out where we'll edit one of us out and replace us with Jar Jar Binks. and another Greedo wearing the same clothes as Greedo after we've seen Greedo killed.
Controversial opinion. I don't hate all the additions to the special edition.
I can't tell if I hate them or not because I've grown up with them.
Yeah.
So to me, they are the movie. I have vague memories of the pre-special edition version of the film. But I'll tell you this. They were so proud of that bit where Han Solo walks around Jabba.
Yeah, that
5 full freaking minutes dedicated to that. On the behind the scenes featurette, we had him step on Jabba's tail. I mean, to be fair, we saw Jabba in the previous shot. He would have to step a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't it funny? He steps on Jabba's tail. I do wish that scene was cut out of it.
Yeah.
In every release now, just so we don't have to watch that. It's funny because. It's not funny.
Also, Han shot first.
Question is, though, did Greedo spit or swallow? Good night, everybody. Play the theme, Johnny. Johnny, play the theme.
I hate you so much.
He doesn't mean it, Johnny. Still loves us, Johnny. Tell me he still loves us, Johnny.